Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Shemal Shai by Hashem Rakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the double apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathens that look like the heathen nations. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson. This is a crucial lesson. It actually kind of made me mad. I'm going to open with this scripture. This is Isaiah 29:15. And it reads, Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us? And who knoweth us? And see, what you've come to understand is that the so-called white man is the actual wicked. Right? The scripture says that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. That's Job 9:24. If not, where and who is he? All right. So they covered up the faces of the real judges and put their own faces up. They're liars. All right. And I just put in the evil man on Google and then hit images, and every face is the face of a so-called white person. And it gave you all these different people. See if, all right. It just gave you all these different individuals. His was the first. All right. But it's evil quotes from A to Z. All right. Let's see this one. And the old ways, all right, are the best ways. They were righteous. That was Henry Ford, who was a known Nazi supporter. All right. But I'm going to play a couple video shorts and just, some heavy scriptures that to go with them. All right. Let me find these videos. So that is not what I'm looking for. Hold on.
Yes, I can cook. I can clean.
Yeah, see, this is...
Here we go. Esau is the damn devil, I tell you. Just bear with me a second. Yeah, that's Maggie. Here we go. The water. All right. So, what's this? Oh, what's that one? No, not that one. This will be the first one. So let's go.
You want to know what started my awakening journey? My grandfather, he's 74 years old. He's a Vietnam veteran. He was injured in Vietnam with Agent Orange, which pretty much ruined his life. His kidneys have been failing for a very long time. So I moved to Boston. I came home. I decided to go.
Now, I just wanted you to see her face so you can hear who's talking. So I'm just going to continue to play it now.
Visit him and my mom.
So you can see who's talking.
Went to visit. This was about 3.5, 4 years ago. Maybe 4.5 years ago. Before I had my son. A little while before. I go in. I'm like, hey, Pop, how's it going? He's like, oh, hey, kid, how are you? I didn't know you were back, and yada, yada. And he's like, I'm so glad you're here because I got to get some things off my chest. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And me and my grandmother, we always had a pretty close relationship. We built a pretty good relationship in my early 20s, late teens. And he's like, I gotta get some things off my chest, and I don't think anyone will understand but you. And I hadn't really started to really wake up to everything at that point, just some things. And so I went over, and I'm like, all right, Pop, what's up? What is that? And he's like, no, you need to come closer, kid. Come closer. I need to tell you something really important. I said, well, I don't know how much closer I can get, Pop. I'm pretty much sitting on your lap at this point.
So, mind you, this man is dying. His life has been ruined from Agent Orange. And he really was an evil man, a man of war. All right. Mind you that. So he's getting his just fruits. But let us continue.
And he was a smart ass, so he's like, oh, funny, whatever. He said that. He looks at me dead in my face, and he says, we've never been the good guys. And I looked at him, and I'm like, Pop, what are you talking about?
Yeah, one more time.
He's like, no, Pretty, you don't understand. I'm going to tell you what my father told me and what his father told him. Generational military. We've never been the good guys. Our country was never created to be the good guys. He's like, you've been indoctrinated in your schools, you've been lied to about history, it's all a lie. He's like, I hope I live, what did he say? He's like, I hope I live to see the day when the world finally wakes up to the lies.
Well, they're waking up now.
That us and, him, he said us in the military we've had to live with for a long time. And he just kept saying, we've never been the good guys. We've never been the good guys. Things we've done, things this country's lies, steals, cheats, murders, etc. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, being indoctrinated my whole life to think America is this strong, powerful, great country that goes around helping everyone.
Strong and powerful, great and helping people, no.
What about us helping all these countries? They're like, no, we're not helping these countries, we're invading them. We want what they have. They don't want to give it to us, so we take it.
Ooh.
Period.
And you know what? That brings to mind a couple scriptures. All right, first one would be Micah. He told her, no, we're not helping these countries. We're invading them. We want what they have, and we invade them. This is Micah 2:1, and it reads, woe to them that devise iniquity, meaning evil, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand. They have the power in the military force to do it. And they covet fields, other people's lands, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Because they'll go and do that. Then they'll send soldiers, and when those people raise up to fight to defend their houses or their way to life, they get called insurgents and terrorists. And then they'll take soldiers, for example, they'll take snipers and go over there and hide like cowards and shoot people from, a half mile away, a mile away. All right? Just for defending their own house, just for defending their homeland or their own land. And then what do? They'll take that very same sniper and make him into a hero and make movies about him. About how much of a great soldier he was when all he was a hired mercenary that went over and helped them rape, rob, steal, and pillage somebody else's land. That is the true legacy of the American way, the true legacy of all our military. All right, we're never protecting anyone from invading us and being a force of the Air Force, a force for good. That's a fucking lie, just like her old grandfather told her. All right, it also brought another scripture to mind when he said, we weren't helping these people. We're invading them. They had stuff we wanted, and we invaded them, and we took it. That brings to mind Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, which the whole chapter is good, but I'm going to read about verse 9 or 10. Oh, yeah, perfect. And it reads, it's Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. So just because you have the strength to do something, that makes it right. And that has been the mindset of the so-called white man. I had a Jewish woman tell me once, we stole America. We took it fair and square. And I told her, keep that energy. All right? Because when the Lord takes it back, and see, that's the thing that these Edomites don't understand, that there's to this whole manifest destiny, there is a part too. Because yes, they were ordained. They're the basis of the men that was set up over the earth. Daniel 4:17. They're also the hammer of the earth. And when you're a hammer, you look at every problem as a nail. All right? But what they didn't understand is that they're going to lose it the same way, even worse. Double, according to Revelation 8 18 and 6. Okay? So to give you another example of how wicked and how evil they are, I'm going to play this next video. Just to go to show you how they set up oppressive systems of lies, and then they hide behind names that, you know, they don't call it what it truly is. I'm gonna talk about Title 4D, which is deceptively called child support. And I've been telling you for years how crooked it is, and now the world is waking up to that. Well, America is waking up to that, and how it's child support is complete. It's called Title 4D. And it's complete and total fraud. And it tells you right there in their own bylaws that it was set up to support the state treasury. It was never set up to support the children. Never. They don't care about children. If they cared about children, they wouldn't put all that shit in their food and give them all those, you know, vaccinates. They wouldn't do that. All right. All the pornography and child trafficking and things that goes on with these higher ups in government, et cetera, et cetera. Remember all the corn that was found in the Pentagon, with all those Pentagon workers and officers and things of that nature. They found all this child corn among them. But yet these are the people that's supposed to be good. And they're not. They just coerce obedience to private ends. Mr. Jack Vance's statement is beyond correct. Okay, so let's listen to this fraud and how it's applied. All right, remember this: when someone is put on child support, they completely Title 4D. Let's call it what it actually is. They bypass their own rules, and they just go straight to the application of taking your money, and they bypass what is called a poverty hearing. So what's supposed to happen to any person, man or woman, that's put on child support, because sometimes women are put on it too. All right, what's supposed to happen is that person is supposed to be brought into court, and all their bills and all their current responsibilities are supposed to be taken into consideration to determine how much they actually have to pay, not just based upon what they make, or to determine if they even have to pay at all. That portion of it is by who. There will be no person on the comment board that has gone through this that can say that they had their poverty hearing. They bypass it. All right. Secondly, it's enforced by guidelines. Guidelines are not laws. Thirdly, it was never written into positive law. Therefore, it is not law. It is complete and total fraud. And as this man is going to explain, all the money goes to all the judges, the lawyers, and the bailiffs. I even found one of the offshore accounts that they have in the islands where the money goes to. This is why they push it. And as he's going to tell you, the budget for it is as big as some of the military budgets, some of the defense budgets. So it truly is the darling of the court, and it is a way to completely, vampirize, if that's a word, suck the life out of the citizens, and mainly men. And then it destroys families, and it prevents men from advancing in society. Your credit is destroyed. You can't acquire. In a lot of cases, you can't get a good. If you get a job, they're just going to take your money. All right, your credit is ruined, so you can't buy property. You can't buy anything to actually build, so you can actually leave unto your children, so that they can leave to their children. They just completely destroy that. And sadly, especially when it comes to the so-called black community, women are completely brainwashed with this, the Israelite woman, and they're quick to destroy the father of their own children and not realizing that they're destroying the future, because now this man will not be able to contribute to his family, to his children as they grow older and get grown. He won't be able to sign for loans, help them to get caught. None of that. In most cases. Not all, but in most cases. All right? So let's listen to this wickedness. All right? Because I heard this clip, And now someone put up the clip a little bit longer, like more in its entirety. So here we go.
There are massive federal programs that were instituted in the late 1970s that pay states
Just so you can see who's talking.
trillions of dollars to tear families apart. Like in Texas, we get 66 cents on the dollar put into the Texas Treasury for every dollar of child support that's paid. So the state is now highly incentivized to issue the maximum amount of child support. Almost all divorces got 50-50 prior to the 1980s, and there was this skyrocketing of divorces where one parent loses custody, and that was to maximize Title IV-D reimbursements to the states.
The state is profiting off of child support?
Correct. And in most states, the Judicial Retirement Fund is funded from this money. So the more child support that's issued from the family courts, the larger the judicial retirement. It's a massive program. It's the size of the largest.
The look on this guy's face,
So the
he can't
incentives
believe
are
it.
Absolutely huge.
Even married people, to get them to break up and then have to pay each other child support?
Absolutely, yeah. So, because you would think the best child support would just be 50-50 custody and let people raise their kids. The best child support is to raise your own kid. That's the best child support. But they don't do that. Most states actually have laws prohibiting the courts from doing that. Texas has a family code in which it's assumed to be in the child's best interest that one parent get 24% of the time. And the reason 24% was chosen precisely is it maximizes Title IV-D reimbursement to the state at 24%. So there are fathers out there with 49% of the time that are paying maximum child support. I have a friend of mine, him and his wife came to an agreement to do 50-50 parenting, no child support, because he watches the kids a lot while she travels for her work. And so it all worked out, and they decided it's just better to do it this way. The state of Texas sent an attorney to argue in the case that they should not be allowed to do 50-50 custody.
I read a story about some celebrity guy who had to pay massive child support. And then he and the wife both went to the court together as friends and said, hey, he's no longer working and doesn't have this money anymore, so we both agree it should be lower. And the court said no.
They won't do it.
Because they get a cut.
They get a huge kickback, yeah. Title IV-E pays the states to adopt out orphans. Whenever CPS takes a child from someone and then adopts them into a good family, they get Title IV-E reimbursement funds, and it's a lot of money. It's like $50K per child.
The state gets that money?
Yes, it goes into the state budget.
And where does it come from?
Federal government.
Interesting.
Yep. Massive incentives to split up families. So now you have the majority of children in America are being raised in fatherless homes. We passed 50%.
It sure does seem like there is a system in place, whether intentional or not, to reduce the population.
But also to reduce.
Yeah, and it destroys the family. Now you see why all these girls are tattooed up and got body counts of, 500 and more before they even 30 years old. All right? And everybody's twerking and clapping their cheeks and got their breasts. They're destroying, they destroyed the family unit. And now it's affecting and destroying so-called white families. See, because this was all targeted at Israelites, at brown people. But now it's destroying white families. All right? So let's go into some scriptures, and then I'm going to play another short video just to stay on these, keep exposing these damn demons, these devils. This is Psalm 64 and 2. And it reads, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So, you got to pray daily, man. Because once you're in that system, I've been fighting these people for a long time. Now, I got them in a position where they can't do anything to me, but they have my life on hold to a certain level, So I have an open case against them, so they can't do anything. And I proved my case over as a matter of fact, I finally have a court hearing again, and it's 3 years and some months later. All right, because they had no answers to defend against all the evidences that I brought against them. All right. So, Lord willing, Yahweh willing, I actually, beat them this time out, that they just decided to stop, this, because they have no answer. They just keep dragging it on so that it's never heard. Because one thing's for sure, what I wanted was a trial by jury, but they never want this to jurors and jury to hear, because that would be shameful spewing upon their glory, because I expose them pretty badly. As you can see even in this video, but it goes even deeper. to the information that I prove where they're wrong. All right. And their way of dealing with it is they just kept my case in queue, in the judge's queue for 3+ years. All right. So imagine you've ever been in an Uber and you hear or Lyft and it says your next rider's in queue. That means as soon as you drop this one off, my case was supposed to be seen. I saw the judge on a Monday. She made sure I went last because she didn't want anyone to hear anything. All right. And then she said she would, and of course it's a Negro woman. My judge, I thought she was an Edomite. She's a Negro woman. And she told me by Friday she would pass judgment on my case. It's 3 years and 4 months later that my case stayed in queue. That I've had this open lawsuit. And if it wasn't for me continuing to do things, and I get the emails and the printouts, it's just wickedness, man. So it's complete and total wickedness what they've done. They violate their own laws because, there's a constitutional law that says you're supposed to have the right to expedient trial. All right. And if it wasn't for the fact that the Lord blessed me with gifts where I could actually hustle and do things, on my own, which they're going to destroy all that with the digital system. All right. But let's grab another scripture. This is Ezekiel 11:2. And it reads, "Then said unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in the city." And this is how they rule, man. Those wicked men that prescribe mischief by law, those unrighteous decrees, and they harm and hurt the people. This is Isaiah 10:1. "Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed." All right. Let's grab another one. This is Psalms 17:13. And it reads, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And I pray that the Lord does that for all of us soon. All right? Because there's some serious shit coming down the line. So truthfully be said, I won't have to worry about this for much longer. This is like Jake that's locked up in jail. And, then they gave Jake life and all that, 25, 30 years. Ain't nobody going to be in jail for the next 25, 30 years. They're either going to get beamed up because they are the elect, or they're going to get burned up because they have the 2/3, and then they're going to wake up in the kingdom and be good after that. All right? Let me play this last video. Because what's crazy, I was putting this trying to queue all this stuff up. Got a text from my professor, and he sent me this. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And and so it fit right into the subject matter of what I was talking about. But here it is.
According to
That
the
is not it.
investigator.
Maybe they took it down. It was hurting them too bad. Let me see.
And he said, "Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL?" 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year.
Damn.
How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
You hear that? Oh, boy. Man. I think this video will have to go on the critical race historical facts. Because this is history in the making, all right? Exposing this damn self-proclaimed white man who is the Edomite, who runs this place with pure wickedness And the sad thing is that the average American is so damn stupid, they don't even know it, man. This is Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be made known and come abroad. Call halal Yahweh Shem Shai by Hashem Rakah HaKodash Wa Abad Babal Shalom.